Washoe County corruption. This is a series, Mr. Belfort versus Washoe County. It's part of his playlist. This is a filing done on 6/6/25. That was done today. Second Judicial District Court, Washoe County. Okay. Jonathan Belfort versus Washoe County Board of Adjustment et al. Okay, these are all the trespassers that he has here. This is a CV 2500680 notice of claim bar insurance policy number 11598 fraudulent business practices etc. / witnesses exhibit 1. There's a motion date here 9 a.m. date June 26, 2025, Department 15. Here's a certified notice delivery number 70221670000283648624 delivered today. Okay, so goes through here and goes through his first paragraphs. Notice of claim bar insurance policy number 11598 fraudulent business practices etc. Witnesses exhibit 1, same thing. Okay. And let's go to the exhibit 1 and see what he's got here. Certified delivery attorney complaint form. Okay, so he's got a complaint form against Elizabeth Hickman right here, deputy district attorneys, and he's claiming that's not a real name. She's using an alias name and refusing to identify. Comes onto this case without identifying. He's identified himself. He has a power of attorney put in there. Attorney's address, Washoe County District Attorney's Christopher J. Hicks. And that's interesting. I just saw an article, by the way, Mr. Belfort, that Christopher J. Hicks, that's the office district attorney.
He's gearing up for his 2026 re-election.
Okay, so you saw that. I saw that too.
My problem with all this is these people have been repeatedly noticed. It's on the record. It's registered mail. It's been, I've mentioned it in person. I've mentioned it in several letters to Mary Canderas. Christopher Hicks has gotten numerous copies of these criminal claims mailed to his office, one of which he mailed back unopened, and now they're just trying to dismiss it all. They've never addressed any of it, and they're just trying to get on our little railroad, and we're going to ignore all your criminal claims against what's going on here, and it is all related. This is all just one big egregious matter we got going on here. And they think they can just base it on their hijacked Board of Adjustment hearing, which on the face of it was an illegal simulated process.
Yeah, I mean, I witnessed that. I testified in that thing, and that was supposed to be your appeal, and we have all the proofs of it. They made it their appeal, and they cut you off. And this Hickman woman, she cut you off, and then she's in here trying to represent these people when she participated in the hijack of your appeal. I mean, this is straight up fraudulent business practices. I witnessed it. Okay, and they're coming after you. You spend $50,000 to get all this stuff and do the right thing, building permits and all this, and working on your septic, and you find out there's a fraudulent title going on back there, and they're trying to racketeer you out of there. And the attorneys, Gail Agnes Kern, has a lien on your property, and threat letters. I have all the threat letters in my possession.
They're completely overlooking all this racketeering hearing that's going
Yeah.
on. And you know, they can notice, even notice Superior Harris has a criminal, it's a misdemeanor, it's a criminal complaint filed against her, and they're ignoring that. They haven't commented on that because they know it's untrue.
No, they're trying to throw all your papers out saying they don't matter, you know, and they're trying to throw the criminal complaint that's been filed in your case out, when in fact Nancy P. Leader, an attorney for Washoe County, acknowledged the criminal complaint. She was given the 1,200-page criminal complaint because I served it on her, and then I told her during the hearing on December 13th, 2024, I was part of that hearing, and I testified in that hearing, and she acknowledged the criminal claim, saying it's about title, and now Miss Hickman trying to say it has no bearing. That is part of the appeal, okay?
Nancy Leader acknowledged that faith that was going on here. She acknowledged the title. She acknowledged financial issues impacted from the COVID-19 pandemic.
Where they received $92 million in federal funding,
million.
And it was held up. The whole county was shut down for 2.5 years, and that's right when you were doing all your building, trying to get your permits, and spent $50,000, and now they're telling you, hey, screw you, you're gonna have to redo it again, and trying to fine you for $100. Okay, and I witnessed during the March 6, 2025. They're letting all these people get all this stuff and giving them a free pass, but they're going to try to fuck you on this. Okay,
yeah,
and now
I'm surrounded. We got Zero Colorado Springs with them blocking, them altering the waterway and all this unpermitted grading, and they fired it. There was no action taken on complaints that were made. I've got a guy right next to me at 200, directly next to me, 200 Colorado Springs. He basically built the cabin that I paid them to build with no permit at all. Says on his, if you Google property, 200 Colorado Springs Road, Reno, Nevada, it says raw land. And I look out my window and he's got a cabin there. I mean, I have no problem with people enjoying their property, but it seems that this enforcement and code is only for me.
Well,
it doesn't apply to anyone else.
First of all, codes, rules, and regulations are not law, and I know you put in an acting clause motion to challenge them. And, you know, we'll see if they're going to answer or they're going to continue to violate your rights on that note.
It doesn't apply to me. They've got in their mind, and I believe it's for financial gain, for somebody in the county. They don't want me with my little cabin on 105 acres here when they can have two or four giant multi-density housing units out here, getting all the plans and permitting and subdivision fees from it. That's what it is, and that ends my allegations of racketeering against Washoe County.
Let me read this because we're cutting short here, but claims as follows in title frauds: trespasser / violator of due process rights, conspiracy to defraud the United States, perjury of oath, suborning perjury, title lien claimants, false witnessing, refusal to identify, refusal to protect, refusal to investigate with intent, using alias unknown names in violation of Real ID Act, acting without subject matter jurisdiction. And that would be her entering and not proving her standing after being challenged. See, it doesn't apply to them, see. But anybody else, you get bent over because they say so. Continuing false movements, trespasses, conflict of interest. She has a conflict of interest. Case number CV2500680, etc. And then you have all these trust reference numbers that they've been followed, and a lot of these I did, and these have our title insurance, all the sheriff's reports where they threaten to bury us out there, and all this stuff. And there's a habeas corpus in here. Here's all the case numbers, and there's a few more that they don't have. So with that, that's basically this. What's your final words here, Mr. Belfort, so we can go on to the next one?
I believe Deputy DA Marion Harris has a prior relationship with one of the actors, and I'm working on proving that connection as we speak. That's my final word.
Yeah, there's certainly something going on. I mean, these people are on the hook for using the taxpayers' money to cover up this public corruption in Washoe County, Nevada. That's what this is. And I'm gonna demand an accounting, and you should too. I want to see where all this money that they're going to spend to try to hide all this stuff. Okay, because not only are you being oppressed under the color of law, they're doing it to me too. They're leaning on my title, and I can't get emergency service up there. I had to take my dad out of there because medical conditions. They can't get a fire truck up in there or paramedics. And my dad, I can't leave him with that, and they're refusing to do anything about it. I've been threatened to be buried. They threatened to bury Mr. Belfort. Go ahead.
They're using taxpayer money to fund their corruption and cover-up.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Mr. Hicks is trying to run for re-election. Go figure. Okay, stand by for the next one.